When you first start dating a woman that you've never met before, your stock is at an all-time high when you guys hit it off. Because in the beginning of the relationship, it's hard at that point for you to really fuck things up. Even things that you do wrong that maybe turn her off a little bit are easily overlooked at that point because everything is so fresh, so new. You're the shiny new toy in her toy box. She's bragging about you to all of her friends. Maybe she's even telling her family about you. She's constantly texting you throughout the day. Things are going really well for you at that point. But after about 90 days, about 3 months, the newness begins to wear off. The front that both you and her have been putting up tends to fade away. The mask comes off and the real person begins to emerge. Now, those things that you've been doing wrong are turning her off. They're no longer cute. They become magnified. The arguments begin to take place. She becomes cold and distant towards you. Next thing you know, you're out of the picture and she's all fucking some other dude. Now, that scenario that I just mentioned is eerily similar to what's happening right now with Tua Tagovailoa in the NFL. Do you remember towards the beginning of last season when the Miami Dolphins were absolutely god-awful and we were all accusing them of tanking for Tua? Now, they aren't even interested in drafting him. Tua came to Alabama in the fall of 2017 as the backup for Jalen Hurts. No one knew who he was. Fast forward to the 2018 National Championship game. Jalen Hurts is absolutely stinking up the joint. Nick Saban decides that he needs a momentum shift. He needs a quarterback change. Puts Tua into the game. And Tua comes in and he's unstoppable. Ends up winning the game for Alabama. He's named Offensive MVP of the National Championship. And all of a sudden, in the span of about 2 hours, a star is born. Suddenly, the national media, and especially the local media in Alabama, they have a shiny new toy to play with. They have a new star to talk about. The good-looking, the exotic kid from Hawaii is now the starting quarterback at the biggest college football program in the country. But as time goes by, things begin to change. The newness around Tua wears off. Kyler Murray becomes a star at Oklahoma. Joe Burrow takes the country by storm last year at LSU, becomes the best college football quarterback in the country. While all this is going on, Tua can't even get on the field in Tuscaloosa because he's consistently injured. All of a sudden, he is yesterday's news. A few weeks ago on this channel, when Stephon Gilmore and members of the media were just so sure that Jarrett Stidham was going to be the starting quarterback for the New England Patriots in 2020, I told you guys that that was not going to be the case. Oh, but he practices great. He makes us better in practice. That's what Stephon Gilmore was saying about Jarrett Stidham. I spent about 5 to 10 minutes going over Stidham's career at Auburn, explaining why he was not going to be the long-term answer in New England. About a week or two ago, I was talking about Tua's draft status, and I told you guys that I could see him definitely dropping out of the top 10, and that if the New England Patriots didn't draft him, I could actually see Tua falling into the second round of the draft. You can check both of these videos in the archives on my YouTube channel. It seems that both of these predictions could possibly be 100% accurate. Ian Rappaport is an NFL insider that just so happens to have started his career in Boston, covering the New England Patriots. Now, he is usually spot on when he reports on NFL rumors and stories. But especially when it comes to the Patriots, he might be the biggest insider in the media. He was on the Rich Eisen show on Thursday, and he said that he didn't expect Jarrett Stidham to be the starting quarterback for New England in 2020. and that they're going to spend a premium draft pick on a quarterback this week. He also said that he thought Brian Hoyer would be the starting quarterback for the Patriots. But that's just asinine. That's lunacy. Brian Hoyer is a certified bum in the NFL. Career backup. I can't see Bill Belichick going with a 10-year veteran with a 16-22 record and let him step in and start the post-Brady era. I just don't think that's going to happen. Now, obviously, I believe in Rappaport's other two predictions are on point. News was released earlier this week that Tua had fallen off another 3 or 4 teams' draft boards. Miami's rumored to be going after Justin Herbert. Jordan Love is also moving up on a lot of teams' draft boards. There is a big concern with Tua's health. Like I said, he stayed hurt at Alabama. Multiple injuries. He had 2 surgeries the past 2 years on his ankle. Broke his index finger during the spring game back in 2018. The worst thing for a player, especially a quarterback, that's entering the NFL draft is for teams to look at them as fragile, not dependable, not durable. And Tua was battling all these injuries in college football, where the speed of the game and the impact of the hits aren't anywhere close to what they are in the NFL. So, if Tua was consistently hurt in college, what makes anyone think that he won't be consistently hurt in the NFL? So it makes sense why his draft stock is plummeting, why a lot of teams are worried about him. Tua also didn't do himself any favors by scoring a 13 on the Wonderlic test. I'm not usually big on test scores. They can be highly deceptive. Some people just aren't good testers. But of all the quarterbacks in this draft, Tua's score of 13 was by far the lowest. The league average is 20. There's a total of 50 points available on the test. So if you're grading it like a school test, Tua got 26% of the questions correct. To put in perspective, Joe Burrow scored a 34. Jake Fromm from Georgia, 35. Nate Stanley from Iowa scored a 40. The Wonderlic test doesn't necessarily mean a quarterback is going to be great or they're going to be a bust. Ryan Fitzpatrick scored a 48. We all know he's a genius. He went to Harvard. How many playoff games has he played in? 0. He's 55-83 as a starter. Now, on the other hand, Lamar Jackson scored a 13, just like Tua. Been to the playoffs 2 straight years. An NFL quarterback has to have the ability to make split-second decisions. If you ever watch Drew Brees or Tom Brady in the pocket, in the span of about 2 seconds, they've made 2 or 3 reads. Oh, Michael Thomas is covered. Look to Traquan Smith. He's covered. Check down to Kamara for a 5-yard gain. That happens in about 2 or 3 seconds. The Wonderlic test isn't the gold standard on determining the success of a NFL quarterback, but it does give teams a glimpse into one important area when it comes to drafting a quarterback. Critical thinking. By the way, Drew Brees scored a 28. Tom Brady scored a 33 on the Wonderlic test. Tua didn't have to read defenses at Alabama. He didn't have to audible at the line of scrimmage. He didn't have to make very many split-second decisions because the quality of Bama's opponents was dog shit most weeks. Most weeks, he was playing against very few NFL caliber players, if he was playing against any at all. The question is, would New England need to trade up to draft Tua? There are rumors that they're interested in trading up to number 3, taking the Lions draft pick. New England's got plenty of picks to deal. They got 3 third-rounders. Obviously, they would have to give up a first-round pick. They've got picks in next year's draft. So the Patriots have plenty to offer if they need to trade up to draft Tua. But I'm not entirely sure they're going to need to do that. I think there's a strong possibility that Tua will still be available late in the first round when New England comes up at number 23. I've went through this before on this podcast, but I'll do it again. The only teams that are needing quarterbacks are the Bengals, the Dolphins, the Chargers, possibly the Jaguars, though Jacksonville will either pick up Cam Newton or Jameis Winston, or they're going to tank next season for Trevor Lawrence. I think 2020 is going to be kind of a transition year for Jacksonville. I think towards the end of the year, they're going to fire Doug Marrone, and they're going to start fresh, 2021. The Bengals are going to draft Joe Burrow. We all know that. Dolphins, Justin Herbert. And I really think the Chargers are going to draft Jordan Love, which means it is highly possible that Tua could fall all the way to the Patriots at number 23. Trading draft picks is not a favorite pastime of Bill Belichick. He doesn't like to do it. If he has an inkling that he can get Tua without giving up multiple draft picks, he will take the risk. And I think that's exactly what could happen. I think Tua could end up falling all the way to number 23 and be drafted by New England. And I think it would be a great fit for him because Nick Saban and Bill Belichick are very similar in their coaching styles. They're good friends. They talk a lot. So it wouldn't be a big adjustment going from the Alabama system to the Patriot system for Tua. All right, that's all for today. I will be back on Tuesday. I hope you guys liked the first video. I had a lot of problems getting it up, so hopefully the quality is not too bad. Hopefully it's good. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button for me. Click that notification bell to receive all notifications from the channel. Leave me a comment in the section below. Let me know what you think about Tua's draft stock right now. Whether you think he's going to be a top 10 pick or whether you think he's going to fall into the late first round, and if New England doesn't pick him, will he fall to the second round? Let me know what you think. You can follow me on Twitter at KC_BTL84. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. I will see you guys this week.